How's it going? So, I was thinking about today's one. Streamers offending people. And based on a lot of the other things I've been talking about, this is something that I think about a lot. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating how much we condition ourselves to say something or not say something in case we offend somebody else, right? So I like to challenge that theory, right? Because I think that that's not being honest. And then, as I was in the other post, you're not saying the truth. If you're concerned about it offending someone, correct? So it's fascinating. I was thinking about it today, right? Because I have an opinion on a few things, and birthdays is one of them, right? And it just so happens it's my birthday today, right? And whether I agree with it or not, people are going to say happy birthday to me. It happens more now with Facebook and these other social media things because they know they've got my birth date in there. You know, it's part of the registration thing. So part of offending people or being honest, or part of being honest, is that you offend people. And then you go, well, you pick your battles, right? And birthdays are an interesting one because so what's happened is people go, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, post happy birthday, hope you have a good day. I just don't get it, right? I don't get it at all. It's just such a nothing thing, you know, such a copied, continued storytelling thing, you know. It's a fictitious, it's fiction. It's just, it's great. So part of offending people is that I can't help but tell them why. What's so happy? What are you wishing me a happy birthday for? You know, you haven't spoken to me for a year. You know, there's about 20 of them there that I have not heard from until last year. That you can see the post. The last time they posted was 365 days ago. Happy birthday. I mean, fuck. Seriously. And that's my point, right? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then I'm the offensive one, right? I'm the one offending you. I could argue that that's offensive. What you just said there is offensive. You saying happy birthday to me and not speaking to me for 365 days We could debate it. That's offensive. Yet I'm not offended that you haven't spoken to me for 365. I'm offended that you're speaking to me now. You know, because that's not genuine. It's not real. It's a product of an alert. You know what I mean? And not only that you've done that because of conditioning and copying and following, and you don't think you want to offend someone. So yeah, I'm making these phone calls for. So yeah, offending people. When you offend someone, yeah, we could argue that you offended me. You know what I mean? But no, I'm offending you by being honest to you. You know what I'm trying to say? So by me being honest to you, you are offended. And your offensive behavior and then your return from being offended is you'll avoid me, or you'll argue back, or you'll cry, or do some other sort of action from me being honest. It's amazing. It's amazing, right? And so then I have to take that offensive nature back. And we talk about emotions. So it emotionally gets me. I was like, ooh, they're upset. Ooh, take that offensive thing. Then I have to internalize it. And then I can throw it back, because that's an instinct to want to do that, to release it. Or I internalize that energy and keep moving with it and push it wherever, right? And carry on. But it's tough. It's tough, you know. Because even when you know you're doing it, you don't know you're doing it. What I mean by that is, like, well, you get back to the obvious part, is that you go, why bother? I know what you're going to think. I know how you're going to react. Don't want to go through all that, right? So then I just carry on. I can just put a post back saying, you said happy birthday. I go, like, thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everybody. You see? But that's not true, right? I'm being dishonest by doing that. And I'm keeping the peace, but being dishonest. You with me? So part of being honest and part of being living truthfully and in reality, my opinion, is that I keep practicing saying the truth. But in saying the truth, it will offend. It does. It offends people. So then I have to make a decision here, right? Is offending people worth it? And I can't help but think it is. Because I've been offending people for the last, probably my whole life, right? Well, that's a good one. So if I've been offending people my whole life, what's the difference? And you probably find that you've offended people as well, but you've been lying more. We've been a nicer guy to hang around with, but ultimately you've left them anyway, or you've acted out on it because you weren't honest at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Just because I go with everything you say now, but I didn't say the truth, it probably would have been better to offend you now than at least you heard the truth. You with me? But it's tricky. It's tricky. So yeah, I mean, it's not like I go out of my way to do it all the time. But every time I think about something, I find I want to tell the truth on the subject more and more. And the more I do it, the more I find I offend people more often than not. And now I've become quite comfortable at offending people. And it's actually better. It's better when you're comfortable offending people. And not to the level where people say, oh, you know, I don't care what people think. People say that a lot, right? Oh, I don't care what people think. You don't care what people think, but you didn't say it. You didn't give them an answer. You went along with it. Oh, but you don't care what people think. Well, you may not care what people think, but your action, well, you stay dishonest. You still lied. You know what I mean? So that's not making sense. If you truly don't care what people think, you will say the truth. No? Maybe you might not say the truth all the time, but when it's presented, when it's there, you would actually express the truth at some point. But what I've noticed with people, and I've done this, is that would actually withhold it the whole time and keep it to yourself and not say the truth because it's easier. It's easier not to say the truth. And like offending people, as difficult as it is, I prefer to say the truth, even though it's hard to do. Yes. And when I offend people, right, and as long as I do it quite descriptively, not only do I get a lot of enjoyment out of it, out of the things, I learn a lot too. You learn the most because a lot of times, let's say you haven't said the truth, we haven't, because you wanted to protect their feelings, we didn't want to offend someone. When you're actually able to like disclose what you wanted to say to them at some point, say, have you ever noticed where they go, yeah, I thought that too. Yeah, you're so right. Yeah, I agree. I know. So it's like this, we've got this whole double lie going on, right? Because the person that sent me the Facebook, that hasn't spoken to me 365 days, sent me it. They know that what they're doing was not really true. They can't stop themselves, right? Can't. It's in them. Because it's their judgment on others and their judgment on themselves has brought them this way. And some of it is from the results they've had in the past from saying happy birthday, because they feel good. Everyone feels good for a few seconds. They're trying to relive that, right? So it's quite a deep-rooted, it's a deep-rooted thing, right? I'm touching on the whole, how come? You just, it's quite involved in the actual act of wishing someone a happy birthday when they don't mean it and they don't even understand what they said. You with me? Like, really do not understand what they just said, from what the words actually meant to the action of it to who they said it to. You know what I mean? Even when you hear on the news it's such and such's birthday. So what? Who cares? Who cares it's their birthday party? There's enough people out there. The story gets told, and it activates the story. That's what you do. You wish them a happy birthday. What the hell is that? You can't wish stuff on anyone anyway, for a start. So wishing a happy birthday has no meaning. Oh, I love it. What else can we talk about? If I bring up my Facebook, all we're going to see is people talking about my birthday. So let's not care about that. Anything else on there? Birthdays and photos of cats, I suppose. The standard stuff, right? Standard, very important stuff. Then you get the montage post, right? A montage post of photos of me and this person, and a description, and it's been X amount of years, and still you're this, and still you're that. You're the greatest ever. You're this, you're that. I know the person. All right. You know? It's not even true. You're just advertising yourself, you know? Oh, well. Who else will I have fit in here? I think the big thing I was talking about with offending there was to realize if you can actually start with the truth and realize the truth is going to offend people, weigh up whether it's better to tell the truth or to keep lying. And by offend, it's probably offend, upset, annoy. You know, there's in those lines depending on the context of what you're being honest about, right? You know, the recipients probably not, they're not going to like what you got to say. It's still a better choice. It's still a better option, because even if what you say is stupid, but it's your truth, you have an opportunity for someone to come back and give you some clarity on the stupid thing you said. But if you lied, or if you didn't say what you thought, and even though what you said was a lie and it didn't offend me, and the context of what you said was actually what we wanted to do anyway, you're going to offend me at the next point, because you're not going to do what you said. You with me? Or because it's not true. So that's going to offend me more. You with it? It's easy staying on this birthday crap and saying happy birthday or happy new year or all this sort of jargon, which is the vehicle of that is just some type of interaction and makes each other feel good for a couple of seconds, which seems harmless. But it's the same vehicle that you bullshit with everything else. So if you can't practice with those supposedly harmless things, you hear what I'm saying? So if I can't say, how come you wished me a happy birthday today? Out of 365 days, you didn't talk to me. If you can't go there with that, which is supposedly nothing in it, right? There was nothing in them saying it, so there should be nothing in it to come back at them. That's a great way to practice, because you got nothing to lose by saying the truth on that. You'll get some grief back, you get some stuff, but that's better than a real subject, like a real subject of something of reasonable significance, correct? Why wouldn't you practice on the standard stuff that who cares if they're upset with me or not? Who cares if they're offended by what I just said? It's about a happy birthday, which was, mate, it did nothing anyway. So if I can practice on code, I do. But if you practice offending on subjects of that nature, when you actually do have a subject that you really want to bloody get your point across, won't you be better prepared? You know, that's my logic anyway. When you live a lie and everything else, or if you're going, you pick your battles, I get that. Keeping on picking your battles, it tends to be everything. Because that's not true that you're picking your battles. It ends up, it's only true if you do have a battle. So if you're never having a battle, then you weren't picking your battles. You were avoiding it. Very different, right? So offending people is important. Practice it. Come from a base of the truth, but be prepared to grow from that. It's not as easy as it sounds.